it allowed this demonstration to drive their trucks downtown, even though they did not have a permit to block streets and settle in for the long haul. Residents have been measuring the decibel levels for those loud horns that keep honking, worried about damaging their hearing with this, but noise bylaws are not being enforced. Officers are still out ticketing the cars of residents who park illegally in this city, but the trucks remain untouched. Officers saying they don't want confrontation. They're even allowing cans of fuel to be wheeled in order to sustain those illegally parked vehicles. And even though there was a law passed before Christmas that was supposed to give officers new tools to prevent the harassment of healthcare workers, people on their way to work at the main palliative care hospital downtown report that they've been yelled at, abused for wearing masks on their way into the hospital, and delayed by the protests. The police chief tried to make this out like this was a national issue now. He said when police have moved in other jurisdictions, it wasn't effective. He said calling in the military would be, quote, adding amazing capabilities, but also incredible risk.
From the very beginning, Ottawa police helped coordinate entry, help stage vehicles, and help plan routes for supplying illegal fuel to truckers in downtown Ottawa. Police Chief Peter Slowly allowed the trucks to enter the downtown core and accepted their word that they would be leaving the city after the first weekend of the protests. This created an official police liaison to negotiate staging areas, all while refusing to ticket and tow vehicles who were violating the terms of the agreement made between the police and the protesters. This, all while media members and citizens of Ottawa continued to be issued citations. In a report released by pressprogress.ca on March 4th, details emerge of a number of planning documents that describe plans for occupying the city of Ottawa nearly a week before the illegal occupation of the nation's capital occurred. The document, which was released by the public interest transparency group DDoS Secrets Collective, contained a number of emails allegedly sourced from an email account used by one Chris Guerra, a top Convoy organizer. The emails, which discussed event planning, logistics, and staging for vehicles, also included correspondence with officers of the Ottawa Police. The leak revealed that Convoy leaders were circulating planning documents that described numerous plans to hold a hostile takeover of the city. Plan C: we will occupy anywhere and everywhere we can. Possible goals such as roadways, highways, parliament, public properties, and NCC parking lots. The document also revealed that Ottawa Police and the OPP met directly with key organizers, former police officers in 2 cases, and effectively surrendered huge areas of the city before the convoy even arrived. In a sworn affidavit filed with the Ontario Superior Court as a respondent to the proposed class action lawsuit against those responsible for the honking in downtown Ottawa, so-called treasurer of the Freedom Convoy protests, Chad Arrows, provided text messages and emails which revealed how organizers communicated with police days before thousands of people and hundreds of vehicles began to paralyze the downtown streets of Ottawa. On January 25th, 3 days before the convoy protesters arrived, an Ottawa police constable named Isabel Sire Paddock texted a protester named Chris requesting an itinerary for the protesters. "I will have a definite plan for you tomorrow morning," read the officer's text to the protester. The protester responded by saying they were so happy police and organizers could work together, and the officer responded with, "Absolutely." Ottawa Police Chief Slawley, who topped the list of last year's Ontario Public Salary Disclosure records with a salary of just under $342,000, stated very early on that the Ottawa Police's $350 million budget was not suitable for this new danger he was facing, and that his police force was underfunded in contrast to the RCMP and OPP. The police chief openly stated on numerous occasions that police intervention was stopping the flow of fuel to trucks downtown, while videos continued to circulate of police not only doing nothing to prevent this transfer of resources from continuing, but even assisting with it. Not only were officers being filmed in the streets of Ottawa, openly showing support to the protesters, but there were simultaneously many others who expressed their frustration about being ordered to stand down and do nothing. This was to the point that even the convoy participants and organizers themselves were surprised by just how easy it was for the trucks and resources to set up and continue, as fuel was getting to the trucks long after police imposed a supposed ban on transferring resources to the illegal occupiers. Meanwhile, Ottawa traffic signs on the 417 Queensway were directing truckers into the downtown core. Inexplicable, of course, according to the Ottawa police.
After more than 2 weeks of intense criticism and scenes like this gripping the city of Ottawa, Peter Sloly stepped aside. Sloly's departure comes amid allegations of divisions within the highest ranks of the force. Multiple sources told CBC News he berated, belittled, and bullied senior officers. That at least 3 incident commanders tasked with dealing with the protests were reassigned after disagreements with him, and that conflicts between Sloly and the OPP and RCMP led to delays in reinforcements being deployed. Ottawa police replied with a statement that did not directly address the allegations when contacted by CBC News on Sunday and Monday.
After 3 weeks of the siege that was allowed to take place in the city of Ottawa, Peter Sloly felt he could no longer fulfill his duty as the city's police chief, and on February 15th, Sloly resigned from his position.
Sloly did release a statement after his resignation, which read in part, "Since the onset of this demonstration, I have done everything possible to keep this city safe and put an end to this unprecedented and unforeseeable crisis. We've acquired new resources and enforcement tools. I'm confident the Ottawa Police Service is now better positioned to end this occupation." The mayor did not address the allegations but said this about the chief's decision to resign.
The tipping point for me was that we were seeing no noticeable action in clearing out the areas around the baseball stadium, Wellington Street, as well as residential areas.